What's going on, YouTube?
We are back again. And this time,
It's gonna be a trip down memory lane because we're gonna be reflecting on our overall history with BBTAG. From back when we first heard about the game back in 2017 all the way up till now.
not only that, we will give you guys our brief history of BlazBlue in general.
Well, my non-existent history of BlazBlue in general, because this is my first BlazBlue.
Oh, then you're in for a treat.
Well, I know of BlazBlue's story up until the end of Continuum Shift, because starting with Chrono Phantasma, I'm fucking lost. And yes, I did just get Lynnae on double random selects. Fuck all of you.
But with me, I actually been playing BlazBlue since Fleming Trigger.
So you go way back.
Yeah, the oldies, my boy.
Back when our Arcune had those goddamn loops.
Oh, yeah.
The ones Takedo would exploit all the time back when he played. You may know Takedo as that Akuma player.
Anyway, first time I actually played Fleming Trigger, I was going in blind. Like, no walkthroughs or anything. Thinking back to it, I was like, you know what?
Calamity Trigger is outdated as shit.
It is, but it's still a lot of fun.
It's still interesting to go back to just to see where it all began, I will agree.
Yeah, and after that I started playing games to extent that combined tones 1 and 2.
Okay, Continuum Shift Extend is when they kind of started punishing Noelle for Continuum Shift 2, but not really.
Yeah, that's where they started saying, oh, Noelle is becoming the eye, the successor of the eye.
And all that shit, yeah. But regarding BBTAG, we're gonna probably discuss that a little as soon as he gets done, like with his little retrospective on BlazBlue in general.
Then I started playing, like, I played here and there, Chrono Phantasma Extend.
Extend is the only version of Chrono Phantasma worth a damn, I'm sorry.
Then you ended all off by playing Central Fiction.
Which was the final game in the storyline, which... The only thing that pisses me off about the way that game works is... If Central Fiction's supposed to be the last game in Ragnar's story, why isn't he, like, almost as good as he was in Continuum Shift Extend? I'm talking from a gameplay standpoint. That's from a story standpoint, you fool. From a story standpoint, Central Fiction kind of fucked up Ragnar big time.
Yeah.
Gets Lynnae, Labras, and double randoms, ends up doing most of the work with Labras for once. Weird. Oh my god, that is beautiful every time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't worry, you have your giant fishing rod. You're good.
Anyway, as I was saying, well, really interrupted about my thank you.
What? I didn't pick her on purpose that time. Look on playback.
Central Fiction is that of the storyline of BlazBlue before BBTAG came out.
And that's kind of where I came into the picture, just because at the time, like, for me, because I initially came from Street Fighter, but SF5 was failing so badly for me, and still kind of is, that I initially intended to switch over to King of Fighters 14. But then this got announced. Oh! Never mind, asshole. Oh, I had the idea there. Really? Hold up. If there's anything going on in the back of my hand, there's nothing I can really do. But yeah, for me, with BBTAG, like, as a whole, like, that was basically my first major BlazBlue, because Ruby's inclusion is basically what got me into it in the first place. Oh, you little. You little. Smack. What?
What?
You got lucky that you were in the corner. Oh my god. That kind of pissed me off, but at the same time, that was beautiful.
But anyway, back to the history.
But yeah,
How we got to the quick battle.
as a whole, like, the second I heard about this, I kept up with everything. All the trailers, the second I could, the day they were out, I was reacting to that constantly. And just over time, once I got my hands on the beta, well, that's when things started to get interesting. Unfortunately for me, my planned main at the time was not out. And funny enough, speaking of the beta, basic bitch. Okay, we'll discuss that as soon as we get them refreshing, which will be after this match, but yeah. Let's also talk about the DLC controversy that happened with Blake. Blake was made DLC, and the rest of the game's roster was made DLC, but we only knew half of the roster.
Well, to be fair,
That got many people pissed off when that was first announced.
look, to be fair, they still wanted to make sure it's still balanced out and people could see what.
Okay, the only argument I will say there that does still hold up is this game was rushed for EVO.
The only thing that was,
Not gonna go for the follow-up there because I need the Oki.
no, wow.
Jesus, I dropped that like a bitch.
Thank you. I can't take it well.
What the fuck? That was supposed to be a... I can do that too.
I can't take it well.
You can't use grapplers, well, that's the thing.
I'm not a grappler.
You're dead.
Oh no.
But, yeah, the Blake DLC controversy, to be fair, we didn't know a goddamn thing yet, and the game was also rushed for EVO very clearly.
Yeah, the game was rushed for Evo and really had little no knowledge of the game whatsoever.
And not only that, but I can definitely understand why people were pissed off. Thankfully, the price point wasn't so goddamn bad. I still hope to God they'd never do that shit with any of their games ever again, but at the very least, they compensated well enough for it. Once I set up the double randoms, I'm going to refresh because we're going to fast forward to the beta when that came out. Oh, sick, Batista. Alright, I'll be right back. One moment of 88 miles per hour later.
Yeah.
we enter the beta days, which I'll say this about the beta. My only complaint, the lobbies were kind of unstable.
It was rushed, like Tony Cashbro said before, it was...
Before we had to scrap that tag.
It was rushed for Evo, and lobbies were unstable, because most people would try to get into lobby 1-1 and just...
Like, lobby 1-1 was always going to be full regardless, the fuck do you mean? But no, for me with some lobbies, if I would try to go into them, the game would actually crash. I just forget which lobby I had stayed. Was it 1-8 or 3-8? I can't remember.
You said 1-8.
I can't remember. It's been so goddamn long since I've been on the beta. But I remember, you want to know something really weird? At one point, I actually had a duplicate of myself literally following me with the Ruby avatar when I didn't even buy it at the time.
Oh, damn.
It was funny.
Well, that was, yeah.
I keep dropping that for fucking days right now, man. Why did I not block?
Why? You're walking to that? Now 2 TPs in a row.
I could have swore I was blocking both of them, but whatever. There's the setup. What's the mix? You can just naturally follow up with off of that, you know that, right? I can do it too. Lasers. Spinny spin. Anyway. Yeah, lobbies were pretty unstable during the beta, but I will say this. Since I didn't have access to Yang, I kinda had to stick to Ragna for a while.
Until the actual game came out.
Which I got a week late because fucking PayPal issues with the Collector's Edition, which was a bitch, by the way. Thankfully, I still got my pre-order bonus. Yes, I'm one of the only people here that I know of who actually pre-ordered the Collector's Edition.
You madman.
Yes, I know. But I only ever do this kind of shit with games I'm that hyped for. But we're starting to get into like the second half, so I think it's time for some other team combinations.
Yep, I know what team.
I'm gonna do this only to piss you off. You know that's probably gonna pick up really loud on playback, right?
Volume warning for in the future.
Oh no, that's gonna get a volume warning for sure. Oh my god.
Why do you do this?
Because I owe you an Astral for that corner, fuck up. But to get back onto a more serious point, though, even though I got the game a week late, there was still one major problem. The fucking way I had to go through.
But hey, since the way we was telling you about, again, was it worth it after that pummelment of game?
Yeah, we were literally just recording this right after the last one, and you kind of saw, like, literally the first thing I fucking did once I did everyone's tactics mode. I went straight to the lab.
You did one lab game where I was slowly getting some knowledge of Hyde. It was getting to that point where I do not want to screw around with Hyde.
Gravity field. See, remember the patch notes discussion we talked about the other day?
Yeah.
that right there is what I was talking about with how freaking Glacial Torrent needing to be faster. Because you saw that should have been a punish.
Yeah.
Come on, tell me you know some Orie. That was beautiful. You know I'm gonna fucking do it.
You know I'm gonna prevent you, right? Corner. I'm in the corner. Oh shit, no. Fuck.
That was just betting the farm. That was just betting the farm on that one. Did that just do 40,000 flat? It did!
Yeah. But now, since all that, shit.
Since that chill has blown over, kind of fitting we're doing this in the middle of a snowy season.
Yeah, we're almost in December.
We're getting close to December, like we said the last time we did this.
But at the same time,
And new with the sick roast.
who is this leader?
One of the only times new is actually kind of interesting.
Because she says, who is this leader?
Exactly, just to kind of like basically bitch slap Weiss without even having to physically harm her.
Are you happy now you actually got your actual advice?
You know I owe you one of those. Oh, god damn it. I feel like being an even bigger asshole, though.
Don't be a bigger asshole.
But, yeah, like I said, though, that wait was brutal. But you know what was almost as bad? The day the freaking 3 DLC packs were supposed to come out, and everyone was in the lobby, myself included, in the middle of a fucking riot.
When I was in there, I was like, what the fuck is everybody going on about?
And then you realize what was going on.
Whenever it says new DLCs are coming out, I'm like, dude, you need to chill out.
But Yuzu, though! I really should bring out Yuzu for a little bit, because Yuzu is just so fun.
Oh, the only one in the lobby who was calm on that shit.
Well, that is until you that is before you tried to be, that's back when you were trying to be hyped about Yuzu.
Hey, the user type was real on that shit.
Yuzu is awesome.
Why you do this?
I was expecting a YOLO, not a throw.
Ow, 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 ow. It's much better. Oh, that's bad. Ow. Anyway, back to what we were saying on how...
Like all those characters were supposed to come out at the time.
Yeah.
That was just hell to deal with. I mean, granted, the Yuzu hype is Yuzu hype. What do you expect? That was a case of the invul just not coming in on time. Oh, god damn it. And scored dough, I should be fine. Spin the win! But again, the Yuzu hype is just Yuzu hype, enough said. But you want to know something really stupid? She was such a hyped character, and once people got their hands on her, she got a lot of hate. I need to refresh. You were saying before I had to cut you off for a second there? Hold up a minute. You were saying something?
I was gonna say that I was gonna give a brief history on why I picked Hyde and Ruby.
We'll do that soon, but for the moment, like, it's like I was saying, like, when Yuzu dropped, like, there was so much hype, and then she started getting hate as, like, she's a top tier, she's broken, and all that shit.
Well, Yuzu isn't that much broken.
The only thing I will say is that, like, once the 1.3 patch rolled around, that was fun. And, to be honest, it did some good for the game, but it also did some bad when you consider the meta shift.
Yeah, but when people started using trying out different characters, it got a lot of fun.
Yeah, but then the meta shifted, and then we get to post-patch.
With that, some people got nerfed.
Which believe it or not, we actually got that patch a day early, which is perfect. All I'm gonna say is there's a reason for it being perfect.
And you were my perfect.
Fucker, that's a dead gourd. That leaves me minus in that scenario? What? Oh, you know Aurier shit. Okay, that is unsafe. Thank you for proving that. I've actually been curious about that one.
Oops, didn't do that. Let me change that. Oh, damn. That was clean. That was clean.
I mistimed! Yeah, you saw what I was going for.
Yeah. If I didn't go to Fourier.
Hey, I don't really give a shit. It's gourd. But, like I was saying though, once the patch dropped and the meta shifted, we started to see one small problem. Both online and in tournaments, so many people were picking so many of the same damn characters.
If I make an
Like, I'll just say this straight up. Online, I ran into like 10 or 12 different Gordos over like 3 days.
Don't give me hate. Don't give me hate. Please don't give me hate. Because there's an example. There's an example. Like Gordo and Ruby. People constantly pick Gordo and Ruby.
Which, that team has, from what I've heard, been on a decline recently.
Really?
Yeah, from what I've heard anyway.
And then there's Kami.
Speaking of which, actually, we had the same fucking idea. Which, shoutouts to Fame for consistently making this team work, even though Resonance Toga was nerfed.
Yeah,
Evo runner-up to doing shit like he's been doing for a while. But I'll say this, I think this kind of meta has gotten stale.
Yeah, but at the same time,
It's still nice to see some character variety once in a while, people. Then there's the problem of 4 rubies at Arc Revo Japan. 4 different rubies and a guaranteed Weiss in top 3. That one's surprising. Ah, shit. I know what I'm doing here. Fucking Zeodine. You
What
did
was I
that.
doing like that?
You did that. Why?
Because I wanted to. No. Neutral Jedi. Works every time.
No, that wasn't neutral Zeodine. That was Punish Zeodine. There's a difference. And again, pardon that. But yeah, we gave our history with BBTAG at this point. I think we should discuss, like, why we went into the characters we did. We should start with you because, well, you're pretty much the guest of the channel here.
Yeah, I was okay. I'm going back to these two guys. These two characters. The reason why I choose
This is actually the perfect time for me to do that, just so we can reflect for a second. Like, I have my reasons, but we'll get to that later. Go on.
It's not only the reason why I chose Hyde and Ruby is not only because they work so well together. It's because not only that of how Hyde can work with the tool set is like mostly
It's
it could be in a zone.
basic and to the point.
Right. Along with Ruby.
And Ruby's just your guaranteed YOLO button.
Yeah, the Ruby distortion pedal burst.
Oh god.
But not only that, I tried to run in the beta and they were actually working pretty well. So I thought to myself, like, I found my main. No,
It wasn't really much of a character attachment reason, but after a while, I just started to click with you.
Yeah, but before I used Hyde and Ruby, I used Noel's Ragnar.
Going with the old BlazBlue ship until that fell apart by Central Fiction, like, making Noel Saya. Spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler on that, guys.
The game's been out for, like, what, 3 years now?
3 years now, 3 years tops. But I think after I found out to use,
I can never get that link.
after I learned a few bit about Hyde, I ended up working, actually taking my time, getting help on how to use them, thanks to a friend of mine here who graciously, which I'm gracefully thankful for, and that would probably be like 10k damage.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, you dick. But after all of that, and I'm slowly fuck your roll. I'm actually getting good with Hyde and Ruby until I actually learn what they can do, see what they can and can't do. Like I've been going through their tactics mode, and
You actually did that. Holy shit.
yeah, and I'm actually starting to wonder on how else I could use them to the full potential. After all of that, I honestly say if I could do these two characters, they help me get to where I am. I mean, I'm a massive fucking five.
I used to be a Keishan rank, but then Gordeau happened. Fucking 2B.
I go to heaven, yeah.
Gordeau is always the one to say no, but excuse me while I refresh. Yeah, sorry about the off video for a second there, guys. Camera shift happened.
Yeah,
Fucking 3DS camera.
This scene actually got me to the point where I am at now. And will I drop this team for a better one?
That would involve learning how to fish.
If I do drop this team, it'll be for a good reason why. Because after do. Because mostly, knowing me, I've actually been the one thing I'm more focused on is the synergy on how they click.
Alright, now we get to my reasoning. I mean, like, I'll say this right now. Yang was already planned to be the instant main the second I heard about this game because, well, you know me. Yang has pretty much been my girl throughout all of Ruby, or at least she was until Volume 3 fucking happened. Let's not make Volume 3 jokes here, people, please.
We do read the comments.
Yeah, I review these comments constantly, and if I see a Volume 3 joke, that won't be taken lightly. You know, you actually could have not done the 2C there and followed up with a 5A.
I could have followed up with EX Vacant Shift, I know.
No, you could have done cross combo activation, EX Vacant Shift active switch. You know, what I got you with last night after the failed recording. Beautiful.
I missed it.
Get the fuck out of there. I can do it too.
Ah, shit. That's a good hide. Can I pop my fingers? Can I thank you? Kappa.
That's just gonna kill regardless. So I'm gonna go for the flashier look. But yeah, initially though, I had a hard time finding a second character. Then the first trailer happened and I was interested. It's usually around this point when I do research on a character that I'm interested in to see like what they're all about and shit. And once I figured out exactly what Lynnae's deal was, I was pretty much sold. And it also helps that she's just plain frickin' adorable in Chronicle mode in Unist.
Yeah.
Like, there are times where she, although is stoic as hell, can act a bit childish, and it's the cutest thing. Also, another thing that sold me at the time was when we first got to hear it, her English voice. And I swear to you, I knew I heard it before, and I knew I heard it from Hyperdimension Neptunia. I was just thinking of the wrong... I was thinking of the right nation. I was thinking of the wrong CPU. Heartful cry, fucking yes, let's go. Don't make the same mistake you did last time.
Oh, Zygus. Okay, it's Zygus.
Thank you. Watch the last podcast, you'll see what I mean.
That was on purpose. This time I got it. It's not me to use. Okay.
Yes, because, oh my god.
Ow. The cauliflower sandwich. Cauliflower sandwich. I'm eating sandwich.
No, you're just getting wrecked by the fact that 5B Hennenvold decided to exist for a second there. Oh, Kuga does not want to come out fast enough today. Oh, did you? Oh, that would have been...
I didn't sing.
That would have been beautiful.
No, go.
Nice catch.
Ow. That was beautiful too. Ow. God, can't go on DT. Going on DT sucks.
Shit, that should have killed.
Just me.
You should have known by now. I know how to respect DPs. No. You had something dope going, and then it's like, damn.
If only they didn't look at me from there.
I'm gonna have to look at that on playback and see if that actually works.
That was so beautiful.
I'm gonna have to look at that on playback. You know that, right?
Oh my god, yes.
But yeah, here's the funny thing though. Lynnae ended up being a very underused character. Like, not many people were using her. One moment. Okay, just the stage loading. Okay. And 6 heroes. Yeah, if you hear that in the back, there's nothing I can really do. You there?
Yeah, I'm just... No! Oh, that was happy birthday right there.
Shit!
You had the thing going too!
No, I had the raw punish going. Like, I'm sorry, what? Hitboxes. That was not the most efficient way to burn your meter. Oh god, level 2 residents. I'm playing badly today. You know I'm going for the unburstable damage.
Ow. Ah. Damn.
Set yourself up for that. But as I was saying though, Lynnae ended up being a super underused character. Like, very few people were actually using her.
I'm surprised too.
Here's the thing. Her toolkit has always been really good. People were just thinking, oh, because she doesn't do anywhere near enough damage. She doesn't do 6k solo. She's not worth playing. It's like, anyone who said Lynnae is a low tier only gives a shit about her damage.
I had a finger link and it was beautiful.
It would have been so sick. I am going to test that and let you know if that works. Because I think I know the secret.
What is that?
Under Heaven Destruction.
It's my team every day. Holy shit.
What was that?
I'm finding new things with my team.
See, this is why I love this game. You can play it so much. Oh, sorry. My fault. Finger slipped.
Here's fun, dude. You find different things with your team and it's like, no. Ah, shit. The loop of Lynnae. Excuse me, sir. Have you heard of my new religion? The Lynnae rule.
Wow, 5B Hidden Bull is actually starting to exist today.
Ah, shit, no.
That should be a dead Hyde.
No, it's a dead Hyde. I like to point out that,
I tried to anti-air.
I'm gonna say, I can point out that gang had yet to take damage until I just did a cross patch assault.
Beautiful. Yeah, you missed nothing. But whoop.
That was beautiful. I can't even complain on that.
I had to make sure that would kill because I didn't have the meter.
It killed. Anything down to the last one?
We have enough time for 2 more.
Alright.
Because we've reflected, we've done everything we've had to as far as like reflecting on how we feel about the game and all. So, as per the usual, it's time for some proper games. As if those weren't proper games as is.
We talked about
Because he went into the entirety of his history with the series, not so much just BBTAG.
Yeah. I'm a huge BlazBlue fan, guys.
Yeah, and I've only recently got in, but here's the thing. I did primarily get the game for Ruby specifically, but I'm not one of those guys who would just like play Ruby Yang like your usual person. I ain't that kind of, well, usual player. What do you think I am? A basic bitch? Oh wait.
Oh god. Why did they do that? Why did I do this? That's not on me. I had to get my head seen like how many times?
Although I am kind of a basic bitch, I play Ryu for fuck's sake.
Oh god.
Oh god, this is gonna hurt. That was not a link.
Damn it. Damn it. Can I talk president? Thank you. No.
You do realize I was going to meet you there, right?
That's overkill.
When don't I do that, though?
Stop! He's already dead!
Oh god damn it. If that's a reference to something, I forget what.
Simpsons?
Oh my god. So that's where that came from. Oh god damn it.
That's one.
This is gonna be the last one. I don't know what we're really gonna do next time, because we've done most of the base stuff that we already planned to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do tier list discussions now, but like, that's a controversial topic, and not only that, but Hyde hasn't done his own yet.
Yeah, I haven't done my own yet.
Although I will say this, because I forgot to mention this last time, would I drop this team for a better one? For the time being, no, but I've been told I should drop Lynnae.
Yeah, my opinion on that, dude, don't drop an egg.
Like, I'll say this straight up. Like, I talked with a couple of people about this. I talked with a couple of people who attended locals. I even spoke about I spoke about this with Iron God as well. Like, and he was saying like the team has no synergy at all. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, what? I mean, no disrespect to Iron God. Like, he put in a lot of time in the game. But at the same time, as I said, I'd rather improve in my own way.
I mean, if you're doing this team, I mean, by all means, stay with this team. Don't do that.
Like, I tried Blake, okay? I actually tried Blake.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it works. I just wasn't feeling as satisfied with it. Kind of appropriate we end things with Reach Out to the Truth. I love this frickin' theme. Oh, nope. I'm guessing that's a corner-only thing.
What, my cross combo?
No, the freaking gun blast setup.
Yeah, it's just probably a corner only.
No.
That's probably a dead eye.
No, it's not. It's Lynnae.
Damn it.
That was meant to be a DP, but I'll take that. But, yeah, that's kind of like... It's like I said before. Just to talk about this real quick before we wrap things up. I tried Blake for Yang, and it works, but I just wasn't feeling as satisfied with it. There's just something honest to God fulfilling about playing favorites. And I even talked with this with a couple of other people later down the road as well.
I'm going to say this. I do feel some synergy from your team, but it's mostly... your team is mostly for pressure.
Pressure, and if I need to play mid-screen, I'll do it. I'm not really comfortable with zoners in tag. Like, these two are pressure characters to the core, but Yang mostly does the close range work. Close range work and full screen with the air fireball. She doesn't really do mid screen, but that's where my Lynnae comes in. Because I play Lynnae very differently from most people.
Yeah, my team, it could be both zoning and mid-screen pressure.
The only thing I will say that team does lack in is considerably good high-low mix-ups.
Yeah, the mix-ups I'm still working on for Ruby.
The only thing you've really got is Ruby's instant overhead JC. But, to be honest, like, I questioned myself numerous times during a small character crisis on what I really wanted to do. And lo and behold, I ended up taking this team to an online tourney about a couple weeks later, and much to my surprise. Yeah, and the fucked up thing is, it was against Iron John in Winners Final. Jesus, that was hell.
Hey, you came out on top.
Somehow, I don't fucking know how. That and the time I spent in Ranked at the time anyway, back when, Ranked was actually somewhat alive. But, yeah, I'll say this much right now. I wanted to try going competitive with this game, and I do want to stick to this team and see how far I can take myself. But, I don't know for sure, how far I'll be able to take it, but we'll have to see at some point. I do want to definitely attend locals at least. Yeah, but we're just about to wrap things up because I've only got about a minute left. And so, what do you think we should do for next time?
Next time, we should talk about... what should we talk about next time?
Overall, my honest idea here would be maybe characters we feel are very underrepresented across the board. Like, for online or tournaments, characters we feel don't get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah. So, next time on the podcast, we should be talking about low tiers.
Not just low tiers, but I feel underused characters in general.
Yeah. That'll be it for next time, guys.
It'll also be a good time to discuss tier lists. And Sonic here. Later.